everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're here in the shop and today we're doing another RAD Parts video. We're going to talk about this new alternator that we're going to offer. It's the RAD-270. We're going to tell you why we decided to produce another alternator, what's good about it, why you should want it, why you should buy it, and then kind of like the reason it was developed. Okay, so to get started, this is how it'll show up to your door if you buy one. Let's bust this open and have a look at it. You can also look at it on the engine over there, but let's grab one of these out. So this new one that we came out with is an additional alternator. So now we're going to be selling two alternators. This one has the front half of it is billet. It'll be wrapped in this plastic. When you receive it, you can peel that off. It has the RAD logo on it. So it's a little larger than our other alternator we sell. This is the RAD-270. This is 270 amp self-exciting alternator. We made this in collab with DC Power, but we are the only ones offering it in a self-exciting. To do this, I tested it on my race car all season so that I can prove to you guys that you're gonna receive a great functioning part that's not gonna let you down. So I've tested it as far as I could test it, pushed it in different extreme situations with heat and what I'm asking of it, and it did a great job all season. Let's dive into why did I make this, or why did we make another alternator. So your factory JZ alternator is like 90 amps. You can get a Sequoia alternator, I believe, or maybe like a different Tundra one that's 130 amps, and then redo some stuff on one of the ears to make that work. Still not enough juice. That's why I originally came out with the self-exciting 160 amp that I sold for many years, and that's been a great product. There's nothing wrong with it. It still works for many people, but if you need a little bit more juice from that alternator, especially at idle, you're gonna probably wanna go with this 270. So I was running into issues on my personal race car where at idle, with the larger pulley on there so that I could have a higher RPM and not mess up the internals of the alternator, because you can overspin alternators. But so at idle with the larger pulley on there, kind of reduces the amperage that I could get, or the voltage I could get, and outgoing amps at idle by a little bit, but it's safer for, like, you know, high RPM stuff. So anyways, I was kind of overloading it at idle, and I was noticing that after I had put a new cool suit. It's called a chill out system. That's like kind of like my AC when I'm in the race car. And I had added brushless fans, which can pull up to like 39 amps when they're like on at full blast. So if you have two of those and all your other pumps and water pumps and everything going, it's kind of weighing on that 160 that we used to, was the only one we offered. So I said, I want to make a bigger one, and I played with some different ideas and tried with different manufacturers, and we landed on this one. And it's pretty reasonably priced considering it's like 110 more amps than the other one. It's only a little bit more expensive, and it comes with a billet front housing. We are going to offer it, not this one here that you're looking at, but we are going to offer it with a billet rear. That's $100 more, and then there's going to be custom anodized colors that we will offer as well, which I believe is going to be 60 more. So it could get expensive if you went with the bougie one, but it would be nice to look at. So positives are it's self-exciting. You only need one wire. So your main power wire goes to it, but you need like a decent size, like 1/0 cable or 0/0, like 00, whatever you can fit in your car. But don't underdo that one, because if you do and you don't have enough sufficient thick enough wire, you're gonna heat it up, and it's gonna kind of put a little added stress on the alternator, and it would put stress on your system. It does retain this plug that's not used. You do not need that. It's just they're using the same components to make this more cost effective. So all you need is the one wire, and it's up to you guys depending what crank pulley you're running. If you wanted to go with the oversized pulley here, 2.75 inch that we offer, or you could go with no pulley and put your OEM kind of uglier pulley on there, or maybe you had bought some nice pulleys from a different company, you could run that, or you could run, this is a billet OE size pulley that we're going to offer as well. The reason I say depends what crank pulley you have. So if you're going to rev high RPM but you have an overdriven or underdriven, it will matter, or an OEM size pulley would matter to how much RPMs the alternator would see. And then in my case, I would like to just be safe, so I can go a little bit past 9,000 RPM on the engine, and I'm still not going to overspin this if I run this larger pulley. So if you guys are, you know, have a higher red line in the like mid 8s, you probably want that pulley on there too. But if you're only going to like 7,500, just stay with your OEM size pulley and you're fine. All right, so one other thing I'd like to say about this alternator, this will fit in this application on like a race engine where it just has this one belt. It'll also fit in your normal belt system application. I don't have a visual for you guys, but let's say in your stock street Supra, you wanted a higher amp alternator, this will bolt right in. It'll connect to your water pump, just how a factory JZ alternator would fit in there. Also, it'll work with your wiring. You just won't need your exciter plug. You could zip tie that up out of the way, make it look clean. All you need is your main power cables going to this post here. Let me quickly demonstrate a removal, but more importantly, the installation with this tight belt system here. And I just want to help you guys be able to do this as quickly and easily as possible when you receive the part. So it looks like it would be pretty easy. It is a little bit of a pain to get this belt on in this particular situation. So I will demonstrate it real quick for you. It's easy for me. I've done it many times, and I'll show you a little trick. As you can see, we have this little brace bracket that we also sell on the website. So you can check this out when you're at checkout if you want this little small little piece here. It will help you reduce some deflection and prevent you from ever spitting a belt. You probably wouldn't spit the belt, but that's just added insurance. I like to take it on and off this way. Try not to scrape this brand new unit here, but okay, so it's off. The hard part is going back on. You're limited with space, but what I want to show you guys is when you're going past this bracket here, this ear could interfere, this little nub or whatever could interfere with the alternator bracket. But what I like to do is put the belt on way out here. This belt's brand new and it's as tight as it's going to be when you guys try and install it. This is the hardest part. Normally after you ran it, the belt will kind of give a little bit and it would be easier to remove. You're not going to remove it too often, but the install part can be a complete pain if you do not do it this way. So look, I have it barely on the lower post, and I have it out of the way of the ear here and that nub, and then the belt is on. Obviously, it's real sideways though. Then you push it down, so you're going to clear, and then kind of walk it on there, and then you're on. And then you just install your upper hardware, your lower nut, and if you bought that little bracket that we sell, little brace bracket, you could install that right now too. But if you hadn't done where you slid it on like that and kind of waited out and then put the belt on, then push down and slid in, you will slide this on and you'll sit there and fight with a belt and like hurt the tips of your fingers for like 25 minutes. Also, on top of that, you won't just be sitting here with the engine. You're going to be like most likely leaning over the hood or the fender or the front bumper of your car. And yeah, then you're going to be like, what the heck? So use that little technique. Save yourself like a lot of swear words in half an hour probably. And it'll take you like 4 minutes. So hopefully that helped. You guys get the point of how to install this little bolt down or nut down there and this little bracket. Super simple. This was the part I wanted to show you, so hopefully that helps. That pretty much wraps up everything that we have to say about this alternator. You can find it on the website and check the different drop-down menus to customize it how you would like it to show up to you, with or without pulley, or with billet or without billet rear cover, and so on and so forth, with all the options that we offer, as well as a belt. Hopefully this video has been informative. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Rad Parts videos coming up, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys.